Is the escalated trade war a preemptive attack against Iran and possibly China's interests? Instead of our government trying to bring us back to the Gilded Age, maybe they're just trying to do a global reset. Or both. What if this current trade war is just a slow way to ease us into dealing with scarcity once again before something really big happens? When America entered World War II, we were still, even though we were in the Great Depression, one of the most prosperous economies, but prices did rise and we had to ration out a lot of goods, even our food. The most recent quote from our president says, "I will solve the Iran problem. If we have to do something very harsh, we'll do it." The United States could easily crush the Iranian military, there's no question, probably in a few days. But maybe we won't have to, since our tariffs have crushed the price of oil, meaning that not only Iran, but Russia is suffering from such cheap fossil fuels. They need oil to be expensive in order to just keep their economy afloat, and right now both these two countries don't have that luxury. By economically crushing both Iran and Russia and keeping both countries militarily occupied with their enemies, China, the big player, the second largest economy on the planet, can only use those two countries as a well-stocked pantry and nothing more. Saudi Arabia is helping the price of oil crash by increasing production by another 400,000 barrels in May of this year. Saudi Arabia, inadvertently, or maybe on purpose, is helping America crash the price of oil by opening production again, even though they wanted all OPEC production to be down by 3 to 4 million barrels per day. Now, China can inflict a great deal of economic harm to the United States, especially by making new trade deals with the EU and our formerly close allies. Over the past few days, China halted exports of critical rare earth elements, which the US military absolutely needs. But even though China does have quite the hardy economy, they are still going to be negatively impacted by these insane tariffs. It's inevitable. And the only way that any of this could make any possible sense, no matter how reckless it is that we may be about to launch something massive against China. Maybe we're going to launch new aircraft carriers and put them right next to Taiwan. Or maybe China was going to launch some kind of surprise attack on Taiwan and this stumped them. Pipe dream, tinfoil hats, but I'm just trying to think of the only logical explanation as to why we would be doing this. Or maybe it's an entirely new technology that China isn't ready to compete with. I am giving our current administration much more credit than it deserves. But for the past even 8 years, the United States was working hard, probably longer, to isolate China from its neighbors, and they did a successful job until our inauguration this year. It would be a brilliant charade if it looked like we just wasted all this time working on such a diplomatic maneuver only to ruin it with an idiot, to have everybody, especially our rivals, let their guard down, and then we actually implement what we've wanted all along. And maybe, just maybe, our administration is acting beyond foolish in the hopes that China or some other major rival will be bold enough to make a first major move against us. And I repeat, I don't even think this is 30% possible. I'm just trying to think of what benefit could we get from doing what we were doing if we were actually planning this. That's all. And the only reason why I'm even entertaining these remote possibilities is because we are the country that brought down the USSR. It took a long time, but we won. We are also the country that lured Russia into thinking Ukraine would be an easy victory with little to no support given. America was at war with Vietnam 60 years ago. They killed millions of Vietnamese, and now we are one of their top trading partners, and we have helped open up this communist government to capitalism. People say America doesn't play the long game. If you look at those trends, I would disagree. Of course, we've also failed with Afghanistan, with Iraq, but we haven't remained the top economy and top military power for almost 80 years because we're just so foolish and fail all the time. To conclude this, I don't really know what to expect. I am just throwing possibilities out there. For all we know, our administration is just that incompetent and they think they can win a marathon race by shooting both of their feet off. I am the Geo Husar, and when people are throwing all kinds of scary outrage in front of your face, it's always good to look behind you and try to look behind them. Thanks for watching.